Today I have been challenged by Techromancer1 to come up with a tag video. That's a little bit harder perhaps than it seems. I mean, I certainly can be sitting around with an empty brain and something pop into it, and sometimes something happens, or somebody will put up a put up a video on YouTube, and that'll give me a chance to come up with something. But it's a little more difficult to sit down and say, now I'm going to be creative. I thought a little bit about just cheating, and since we've done an 80s tag and a 90s tag, backing up and doing a 70s tag, but that's not really creative. And so then I thought, well, if we're, if a lot of us are retro gamers in the gaming community, there's a lot of retro gaming, and we've been doing some retro tags. Let's do a really retro tag where everybody's answers are going to be a little different, because this tag is for the favorites from the decade you were born in. If you really want to make it challenging, you can do it for the year you were born, but I'm not going to make that restriction. That's up to you if you want to restrict it to the year you were born in. So the tag that I'm putting out there is for the year you were born, and that's where the creativity ends, because it's the standard questions that you might have for a retro tag. So first up, I'll just say it once. For the decade you were born in, what is your favorite movie? For me, it's a pretty easy one, because I was born in 1957, so in the 50s, probably my favorite genre of all movies is 50s science fiction. And within 50s science fiction, my favorite subgenre is big bug movies. And definitely the best of the big bug movies is them. About giant ants with James Arness, James Whitmore, has a small role with Fess Parker, who just recently passed away, and an even smaller role by Leonard Nimoy. Well worth checking out. A wonderful movie. If you're at all into 50 science fiction, this is worth having. Second would be 50s TV show. Well, that's one I recently discovered, because this show wasn't shown much. It was shown originally on NBC, it was rerun on ABC, and if you didn't see it in those 2 times, that was it. And some of the episodes were only shown once. And that would be Steve Canyon. This on DVD, the individual has worked with the Milton Caniff estate, who wrote the comic strip and had the rights to the show, and has some wonderful source material and a lot of nice extras. He's put out a sampler disc first DVD that has 4 episodes on it, and then he's got volume 1 and volume 2, well worth having, and volume 3 should be out. It's supposed to be out this month, but it could be next month. I mean, being an individual, it's a little hard for him to hit an exact timetable, but it should be within the month or so. I'll include a link to the website if you want to check it out. Next would be the favorite song. I have to do a little bit of explaining for those people that don't know what a vinyl record is and aren't familiar with them. When you pressed a vinyl record, it was just as easy, didn't cost any more, to press both sides. So when you bought a single, there was always, the single was on the A side, and there was always something on the B side. And frequently it was filler, because you didn't want to waste your best material on one record. You wanted to turn out 2 records and have, just find 2 other songs for the B side. But sometimes the B sides turned around and became hits. That's not quite the true in this case. In this case, the single was by The Rays, and it was Silhouettes, which I think made it to number 3 on the charts. Well, the backside of it was a novelty song called Daddy Cool. I don't have a copy of it to play for you right now, but there was a cover of both Silhouettes and Daddy Cool that was done later on in the 50s, and there was a cover of Daddy Cool that was done in the 70s, so it's possible you've heard of it. But that would be, like I say, it's a novelty song, but as kids, I don't know how we got it, because Mom and Dad, I couldn't see them getting it, but we had Silhouettes and Daddy Cool on a 45 record, and we played Daddy Cool a lot and Silhouettes occasionally. And then the last question would be for the decade, favorite toy. The good old Frisbee would be mine. And also, for the younger ones out there, if you were born in the 70s or later, feel free to throw in your favorite video game from the decade you were born. So those are the questions, and now as to who I'm going to tag. Well, right here are the people that I'm going to tag. And as always, if those people haven't tagged you and you want to go ahead and jump in, feel free. As always, it's an open tag, and more later.